Howdy everyone, Pocho here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we are going to go over the hero spotlight for Fullmetal Goon, the Goblin Tank. So let's get into it. So here we are with the tank, Fullmetal Goon. His base stats come in at hit points 1.7 million, which is quite low for a tank. They normally come around 2 million plus for the tanks in the game. Speed 195, again, pretty low, but makes sense with the character design. Armor 34k, magic damage resistance 34k as well. Basic damage 120k, critical hit chance 16, and critical damage 182k. Going over his stats here as well for more detail. If you guys want to stop this wherever and have a look, go ahead and feel free to do that. But those are the stats for the tank. So we're going to jump into the arena now. We're going to look at his abilities, what they do and how, and if he's going to complete the Goblin faction, and are they going to be a usable faction. So let's jump into the arena. So looking at Goon's basic attack, we have Frantic Swipe, triggers the tank class mark, deals damage to one target, which increases by 5% per dead rat received. The dead rat cannot be thrown away or removed, and every rat reduces fortitude by 1% until the end of the turn. Has a 7.5% chance per dead rat that Fullmetal Goon has for a random ally to perform a support attack on the same target. So potentially could do a lot of damage with support attacks. The wording of the rat thing is weird because each goblin does get rid of their rats when they perform an ability. So we're going to go ahead and use it against Abaddon here and look at the action and see if we get a support attack as well. So there we go, 145k. Does he get... No, there is no support attack there. So pretty interesting, pretty cool animation. He comes back and does a little bit of a breakdancing spin. Yeah, I mean, I've seen better basic attacks, but we've also seen worse. So basic attack, there you go. Nothing super duper about it. Moving on to his first special, we have Fullmetal Gobliness casts on all other allies a buff that restores 100% HP from the damage dealt. So a buff goes on them. When they deal damage, they restore 100% health of the damage they deal. Increases the initiative of every goblin in the party by 20% per dead rat he has. So almost full initiative bars if he's got 5 dead rats, or is full initiative bars. Add 5% to armor and magical damage resist 3 times, and 1 time for every dead rat he has, and an extra 12% for every dead rat he has. That extra 12% comes in at level 7. From what I understand, I asked, I'm fully not sure still, but at level 7 you unlock the extra 12%, so I think that's what's 15, 5, 6, 17% per dead rat he has. From what I understand, who knows? He just gets a whole bunch of magic damage, resistance, and armor. So we'll go ahead and look at the ability. So he gets a whole bunch of armor, pretty cool. And you see the buff go on the allies. Nice greeny glow to it. Nothing super special again. He just becomes a bit of a unit. So yeah, pretty nice ability. The upside of this ability is the initiative increase. Initiative increase is always good. These games are based mostly on speed. The faster you are, the more likely you are to win. And that's how it is. All I care about is that it's set. You're pretty much going to have 5 goblins on here. 5 goblins, 5 dead rats, I'm pretty sure, in the rotation. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I could be wrong. But, yeah, even if you don't have 5 dead rats, by the time it gets to his turn, everyone's initiative bar is going to be at a different stage already. So you're not really going to need 5. 3, 4 should be sufficient enough for you to get pretty big boosts to your goblin characters. The cooldown is 7 turns, so it's a pretty long cooldown. You're most likely going to use this at the start of the battle, get everyone up, get them and their abilities out, and then go from there. So yeah, pretty good initiative boost, really. That's all it really is, and giving him a bit of armor. Moving on to the second special, we have Cast Iron Surprise. Ooh, a little bit of a morning surprise. All right, we got deals damage to all enemies, which increases by 40% per dead rat he has. That could be huge damage. We got 5 dead rats on him at the moment, so what's that? 20%? 200%? Is that how it works? I could be wrong. My maths is horrible. Cast a debuff on all enemies per dead rat he has, which deals damage equal to 2% of the enemy's maximum HP per debuff of that kind, and that is already cast on them. The damage ignores armor and resistance to magic damage. Awesome. The ability cooldown drops by 1 turn when using it per dead rat he has. Increases the chance to deal critical damage by 15% per dead rat he has. So, yeah, this ability could do tremendous damage. So we're going to go ahead and see what its animation looks like. 5 dead rats. That is ridiculous damage for a tank. That is by far the strongest hitting tank in the game. As long as he's got those debuffs, rat stacks on him, he half health an entire team. He put sacrificing critical HP. Okay, so that's interesting. What more can I really say about that? So he cast the debuff as well. They got that on them as well. So they're going to take extra damage. Sacrif can obviously remove that. It'd be interesting to see how much damage she takes when it's her turn. And we've got the decreases the cooldown of the ability. The ability cooldown drops by 1 turn when using it per dead rat he has. So, yeah, right. So that's a really strong ability. So let's see how much damage Sacrif's going to take when it gets to her turn. We're just going to auto attack. Even that auto attack was a lot of damage. Let's move to Chorin Shaw. Okay, she nearly got wiped out. She goes for the heal, and yeah. Okay, very interesting. So there's a lot of dead rat stacks on him at the moment. That's, again, interesting. So yeah, that's probably one of the strongest hitting abilities in the game, I reckon. I can't think of many more that hit for that much damage. That's stronger than Syndario's. Don't worry about all the support attacks that are happening right now. That's just their little niche. But that's stronger than Syndario's AoE, and she can get some pretty high damage as well, assuming that all her buffs line up. This guy doesn't really need much to line up. He just needs the dead rat stacks. We'll move on to his passive, and yeah, we'll finish it off there. Moving on to his passive, Hefty Stooge. If Fullmetal Goon hasn't taken damage, then at the end of the enemy's turn, he makes himself the target for 1 turn. So that's pretty good. It means you have to at least damage him. If Fullmetal Goon hasn't taken damage, then he'll deal a support attack to an available enemy at the end of the turn. Increases his own HP by 15%. Restores 20% HP from the damage he deals per dead rat he has. So he has a lot of sustain in here. Increases his own HP by 15%. I don't think that's necessary to have in the passive. Why not just give him the 15% HP? Makes much more sense. Save yourself having to put this in text. Just give him 15% HP. All this other stuff. If Fullmetal Goon hasn't taken damage, then at the end of the enemy's turn, he makes himself the target for 1 turn. So I'm not sure if that means he has to be at full HP to work, or if he just isn't damaged on the enemy's turn. So we can go ahead and test that. But I think the way the AI works is that he could go ahead. They might attack him first. So we'll go ahead and attack Chorin. We're just going to use auto attacks. So when is the enemy going to get his turn? Soon enough. So there you go. He gained the taunt and he did the support attack. That's awesome. So if we come up to him and then we'll skip him. Let's have a look what happens next. He should get taunt again unless he is attacked. Heal. Yeah. Okay, now he's going to lose HP. He'll get a counter attack. He's doing a lot of damage. This is just from support attacks. And they get the chance of double support attacks and more support attacks. It's an interesting faction. I can see... Yeah. So he gets the... Yeah, okay. He hasn't been attacked yet. It's a really horrible team to test this against. That's fine. He's getting lots of support attacks. He's getting the taunt. The strengths and weaknesses. Just going over their abilities. I feel like the Goblins are going to do very, very well against teams that specialize in AoE. So that's Archons, for example, I think they'll do very well. I think that their big weakness, however, will be single target teams. I think single target teams will be able to rip through, especially if they're faster. So I'm thinking Wild Elves to begin with. I don't know about High Elves. I don't think so. High Elves aren't that great of a faction. They're alright, but Wild Elves just come to the top of my head as big single target damage teams. So Barbarians possibly can do a lot. They're strong single target as well. I think those will be the strengths against the Goblins. I think AoE will be what the Goblins are strong against. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll answer to the best of my ability. And wherever you are in the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.